When the evening settles and the day grows still, stories rise softly from memory's hill. These are the letters we carry inside, stories of love, loss, and pride. Welcome, my friend, to Porch Light Letters.
Hey, kia ora, Helen Rooms here, coming to you live from Waikanae Beach in New Zealand. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Porch Light Letters podcast. So up to day 2447. Yay! Getting closer to the ending. This is in the middle of year 7. Well, you've only got a couple of months left on year 7. But today we are talking about what exactly is a genealogy brick wall? Which is a really good question because we hit them all the time. It is a brick wall in genealogy is not failure. It is simply a point where the next step is not yet visible. And that's all it is. But before we dive into that real quick, I do have an update for you. We are this close to releasing our next song. We've got a song coming out in the next couple of weeks. I've got to determine when I'm going to release it. We finally got a singer for it, or a name for our singer. So those that don't know, I write songs and then I go into an app called Suno and I have AI generate the singer and the music because I know nothing about that side of it. I'm good at writing the songs and the poems and stuff that we can put to music. In fact, I recently found my old book on poems and things, so they may end up getting some tunes put to them. But I've got a couple of songs that are going to be coming out very soon in the next one. And then I go into AI and I get AI to say, look, here's the audio track, here's the lyrics, this is the type of image I have in mind for the singer. Can you please generate it? And so yesterday we generated what the singer looked like, and then AI, ChatGPT and I had an argument about what this person's name was going to be. And when I said an argument, we had an argument backwards and forwards. He kept coming up with all these weird names. I was like, no, I just want a good, wholesome, and explained it to ChatGPT yet again. And finally, I came up with one, and I said, this is it. Here's the name. We're done. And one of the names was a suggestion from ChatGPT. The rest of it, the first name was I kind of had that name in mind anyway, but ChatGPT confirmed the first name that I'd had in mind, along with a couple of other suggestions. I came up with a middle name for this person, and where did the last name come from? See, ChatGPT came up with that one as well, but attached to different first names. So that part's now done, and now I've got to get everything all registered, and I'm going to see if I can work on a music video for that one without me having to sit down with Canva and piece together all these different video pieces to do the song. So stay tuned. That's coming very, very soon. Yes, I'm super excited. And it will be in time for it's a song specifically for 4th of July. It will be in time. It will be released definitely well in advance in time for that. And if people are on my mailing list, as in a physical card, you may get a card in the mail with a QR code that takes you directly to the video so you get to watch it. So anyway, more about that later. Today we're talking about genealogy brick walls. So a brick wall is a gap in evidence. A genealogy brick wall occurs when available records no longer provide clear answers. You may have a name, a place, or a date, but no documentation that confirms the next connection. This creates a pause in progress. It is a common experience for researchers at every level. Brick walls happen all the time. And I want to go back to the first statement where we said where records are no longer provide a clear answer. You have to remember that at any point in time, all the records that you can research online represent about 5% of all available records in the world. So because those records may not be available online, they may still be available in an archive, in a library, at wherever they hold the records, at state level, county level, national level. So there may still be physical records available that you can go and search, but you have to be there in person to research them. So just know that that's one of the things. It often appears at key transition points. Brick walls frequently occur at moments such as migration, name changes, or generational shifts. These are points where records may be incomplete or inconsistent. Understanding where the wall appears can help identify what type of record might be missing. It does not mean that the information does not exist. A brick wall usually means the information has not yet been found, not that it is gone forever. Records may exist in unexpected places or under different spellings. Expanding the research often reveals new paths. Now, for my mother-in-law's maiden name, when I go and research her maiden name, I have 27, I think it was last count, different ways, 27 ways to spell her last name, her maiden name. I have the original German name, which is what she had. But then in the records, based on who was hearing it at the time, and if the person didn't know, and if the family member didn't know how to spell it, then the person writing it would spell it how they thought it sounded. So that's how you get the different spellings. So be aware of that it may not be under the original spelling that you know, because the person hearing it at the time would have written it how they thought it sounded. It challenges assumptions in research. Sometimes a brick wall exists because an earlier assumption is incorrect. A wrong parent, location, or date can lead research in the wrong direction. Revisiting earlier conclusions can uncover the issue. These are all things that we go through when we're helping people get through brick walls. It's part of the research process. Every genealogist encounters brick walls all the time, all day, every day. They are a natural stage in deeper research. Each wall invites new methods, fresh thinking, and patience. Trust me, a lot of patience. It is not for somebody who wants quick answers very quick. No, we are a marathon, not a sprint. Why this matters is because understanding brick walls helps remove frustration and replace it with strategy. We're constantly coming up with new strategy techniques. I had somebody who recently contacted me through Ancestry. We have a DNA connection. And remember, DNA shows that you are blood related, but not how. Yes, genealogy shows how you are related. All DNA does is shows that you're blood related. That's it. It does not show you how. Yes, some people will sit down and go, well, if it's this many centimorgans or this many, between this number of centimorgans, then it means this. Not necessarily. Let me take that off the table right now. Not necessarily. Just because it's between certain centimorgans does not mean that they could be your second cousin or your third cousin or your fourth cousin twice removed. No, because I have found through my own research with my own DNA where I know who the person is, like it could be an aunt or a cousin or a second cousin. I know them personally. And Ancestry says, oh, you've got these many, your centimorgan falls between this range, which means they're this. And I'm like, yeah, no. It was trying to tell me that my aunt was my first cousin. It was trying to tell a half third cousin that they were like fourth or fifth cousins. I'm like, yeah, no. So your practical takeaway is treat a brick wall as a signal to change approach rather than stop. If you want help with your brick walls, scan the QR code up here in the corner and schedule a 30-minute discovery session with us, and we'll see if we can help get you some different techniques to smash through the brick walls, get around them, get over them, get under them, whatever you have to do. And in closing, remember, every wall has a way through, even if it is not immediately visible. And this is so true whenever we are researching anybody. I come across brick walls all the time. Like I'll be going and going, oh, this is great. I've got their birth certificate. Now, is it really their birth certificate? Yes, it's their birth certificate. It's got these parents' names on there. We go and research those parents. They don't exist. Maybe the names are different. Maybe the spelling on the name is different. Maybe they have a common, like instead of putting Bill, they might put William, or no, hang on, they put Bill instead of William, or they put Liam instead of William. You know, you've got to think of those. What are those short names known as well? Because sometimes it could be what was recorded was not their full name, but a nickname. Or it could be in the surname was spelled differently because the person reporting it didn't know how to spell it. So the person recording it had to do their best with what they heard. And we have found this many times in many records. And the good part about Ancestry is you have a little button that you can press where you can correct the spelling on things. And then it appears like up here, it appears what was transcribed. And then below it in square brackets, it will have what what somebody has suggested the change should be. So there are many cases like that everywhere with records, especially those online and getting transcribed. I have done volunteer work to transcribe some census reports and things. Like when the 1951 census was released, they were asking for volunteers to help transcribe certain pages, just to go in and transcribe some pages. And you could put the area that you wanted to transcribe. So you could put the area that your relatives used to live in, your ancestors, and transcribe their records. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to do that. And then there's other records that if you just want to volunteer with transcriptions, familysearch.org has many documents that they're in the process of transcribing. You'll get the copy of it, and then you get to go and transcribe it. And like their tool will transcribe it. And basically your proofreading, have they transcribed it correctly? And you can go in there and make corrections if you see, well, actually, that doesn't look like it's an O, it looks like it's an A. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, that sounds better with the name. And you're looking at it, you're blowing the image up so you can see, and there's definitely a downstroke on one side. So that's definitely an A, not an O, and things like that. And you've got to compare it with other entries that person has written to see, was it an A or an O as well. So there's different techniques that they give you to help transcribe the handwriting and things. But it's a really cool project, very cool projects to work on. I haven't done any for a bit, but totally worth it. And with doing that, I'm learning new researching techniques, especially when it comes to reading handwriting. So you never know. Somebody could be transcribing, they transcribe an O as an A or an A as an O, and that could just make the difference on whether or not you can find your record. But with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. Now, tomorrow we will be on earlier because I got to go to the airport. So I'll be doing my podcast tomorrow early. I don't know what time. I may do it before I get on the help chat, or I may do it as soon as I get off the help chat. So not sure if it's going to be before 12 noon or after 12 noon. I'm not sure if it's going to be before 12 noon Pacific time or after 5 p.m. Sorry, 4 p.m. Pacific time. But it'll be done. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We'll catch you guys back here at some point tomorrow. Hei konera.
The stories we carry stay bright through the night. A small steady glow in the fading light. Stories of love, loss, and pride we share. Until we meet again, keep the porch light burning.